Kundalini Now, episode 2. Our episode today is on victory. Kundalini Now is a live conversation with yogis. And today my guest is Gurmukh, my dearest beloved mother. And my name is Khalsa, and the intention of Kundalini Now is to create a space and a forum for yogis to talk about everyday life challenges and growths and how we apply the teachings that Yogi Bhajan left us to our everyday life, and how do we embody these teachings and weave them into our family lives, our diet, the way we wake up, the way we really live, our lifestyle, because that's how these teachings were designed to give us our greatest capacity, was to be a path and a map for a lifestyle. And so today we're talking about victory because we are approaching the summer solstice, and it seems like a most appropriate time to call upon that solar energy, that sun energy, which is at its highest peak and its mightiest force, and to harness it through practice, through conversation, through the wisdom of a very long time teacher, my mama. So, hi mama.
Hi Wawa.
How are you today?
I'm so great. There's a victory today.
Yeah, so my mom is in Taos, New Mexico, and I'm here in Portland, Oregon. And it's amazing that technology can make this possible. So we're just really excited to have this conversation and to share it with you. I will kick us off with a quote from Yogi Bhajan, words that he spoke about victory. He said, "Just understand one word. Take it from me. I'm not giving you a Sanskrit word or a religious word or anything. I'm just telling you something which will help you survive through all odds. Whenever you face anything and you don't have an answer, just call yourself inside and say victory. Lean on victory. Make it a guiding word. Make it a precious word. I don't know what you are, who you are, or how you are. Don't ask questions. Don't do your analysis. Don't try to solve problems. Just utter the word victory. With just the mental utterance of this word, your whole life will change. Mentally utter the word victory. Try it. You'll find the strength of 100 angels behind you." So, Mama, have you ever had an experience of using that word, or just being in the midst of a challenge that felt overwhelming and you weren't sure how you were going to make it through, and these teachings kind of pulled your head above water and gave you the strength to continue swimming?
I've used that word probably more than any other mantra in my life. And well, when I first started these teachings almost 50 years ago, I only thought of the word victory for winning a football game or winning a war. I mean, the word victory didn't have a real positive. It was like fight, do it, be victorious over somebody else. Then when I discovered from Yogi Bhajan that victory was within yourself, it had nothing to do with anybody else. And many people don't even know the teeny weeny victories that we all have. It's a victory against the mind that wants to take you beyond being healthy and happy and whole and bountiful, beautiful. And it's the opposite, or it's the opposition of that which will make you negative or unhappy or sick, all kinds of things. If you just utter the word victory, it will bring down that higher consciousness that doesn't have to always be in war and battle and competition, and it doesn't have to compare yourself to others, but you can just sit in the middle of pure victory, which is your self-identity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I had my first experience of really the power of that word about maybe 3 or 4 years ago when I was training for my first full marathon. And I had no idea how I was going to do it. I kind of got moved to even be open to the possibility of running a marathon when I watched the LA marathoners finish. And I was standing there at like mile marker 20 or 21, and I was watching all these different body types and age types and ability types getting to this like almost close to the finish line, and it almost brought me to tears just seeing their victory of overcoming whatever odds they had in their life to have such an accomplishment. And so it inspired me to want to train to run one. And when I got into the long distance runs where we were running, 15, 18 miles a weekend, I was listening to Yogi Bhajan lectures because it was just his voice is very hypnotic, and it would just kind of help get me through those painful moments of those long journeys. And he said something about victory, and I needed a cadence. I needed a rhythm for my feet to just keep putting one in front of the other. And so I started to just repeat victory, 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 victory as I ran. And it became a habit through my training. And once I got to the marathon, I used it, and I finished the marathon, and it felt like a miracle. I mean, I didn't think of myself as much of a runner most of my life. It was kind of a thing that I took on later in life. And so that was such a physical experience of that word victory. And I think that the reason for me that it's so powerful is because it's like what he said, you're not looking for the answer. You're not looking for the solution. You're just claiming the victory without knowing the outcome. And there's such power in that, because so often when we're lost or we're in challenge or in transition, we don't know how it's going to turn out. But if we wait for that answer in order to claim the victory, we may never get the victory. Whereas if we can claim the victory before knowing the answer will come. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And well, I remember when you were a little girl, you never even liked to walk or go hiking. I don't know why. Sometimes we thought there was something wrong with your legs. But then when you decided to do this full marathon, it was like, wow, there's a real victory to it. And I think Yogi Bhajan said utter. Utter means to make a sound. And oftentimes, I mean, even to get out of bed in the morning, to meditate, to do your yoga, to do that which you know will bring you a good day, that's a victory. And sometimes even when I get out of bed, I have to say victory out loud. When things are so challenging, I just want to give up, whatever it is. This is yoga or gardening or exercising, or even in a complicated relationship with somebody where I've got to talk and speak my truth. I've got to keep that mantra, victory. And I love that word because it's not a Sanskrit, it's not a Gurmukhi, it's just a plain old English word with so much power. And I think at the summer solstice, where the energy is the highest, as we go into this explosion of vastness, of energy, of sun, of light for everyone, will be tested. If you don't do it right, it can be a really hard time, but it can be so victorious. And like you said, harness that light energy. How does one do that? By gathering. We're going to be in New Mexico. There will be about 2,000 of us gathering at that summer solstice. But wherever you are in the world, gather Sangha, gather people, cook food for them, do ceremony, do yoga, do walks, do so much that brings the earth connected to ourselves, nature connected to ourselves. When I was a kid, we didn't even know what solstice was. It wasn't until Yogi Bhajan came, and I met him in 1970, that we he told us about solstice. And then we started gathering, and then we saw the power of collective energy and what we can do to shift the energy on the whole planet Earth. Say you gather with 20 people in Maine, or 50 people in Germany, or Beijing, or South America, or wherever you are. That will add to the height of the energy that will bring the sun and the peace to this planet Earth. Doesn't matter size, just do something in celebration of summer solstice, and that will be collective victory.
Yeah, I love that you brought that idea up, because I think that, you know, so many people are looking for something to do, and they live in maybe a small community, or there isn't much of a Kundalini community, and they can't make it to New Mexico for the Maha solstice gathering. And they feel like they're not a part of, or at a loss of, well, there's nothing I can do because nothing's happening around me. Well, roll up your sleeves, do it yourself. If you're looking for a leader, if you're looking for an invitation, be the host, be the inviter. Invite people who aren't yogis into your home. Say, I'm having a summer solstice dinner. Everyone loves dinner. Everyone loves a party. Make it a party of intention, and be surprised at how people receive it. I just find it so fascinating when, you know, you taught me this, Mama, but when people's birthdays approach and they have this sad feeling or this lull of like, oh, nobody's doing anything for me for my birthday. And you always taught me, it's your birthday. You celebrate. You throw yourself a party. You invite people and you serve them. You feed them. Everyone needs to stop looking for the leader. Stop looking for the yoga studio. Stop looking for the yoga teacher to create the experience. You have the power to create a community, to create a vibration, to create a hub for people to gather. So in any way that manifests, it doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to have a big plan. It could just be a potluck. It could just be you know, let's all go sit in the garden and have a picnic. It could be, let's go for a hike. But stop looking for the leader and be the leader, because people need this more than ever now. They need community, and they need that victory. And when you can help give people the victory, you get it 10 times in return, right?
Yeah, and that old song of Barbara Streisand's, people who need people are the luckiest people in the world. And then from the Hopi elders, the poem that was written at the turn of this new millennium, where he said, the time for the lone wolf is over. If we realize we need each other, we need to live for each other, not at each other, and to be the leader, and to bring about the traditions and the celebrations within our own community. Well, you're a great example. In Portland, there wasn't a spiritual New Year's Eve, and you said, well, we live in that tradition, and lo and behold, you started it. Here in Taos, New Mexico, we have a very big, incredible garage. So we're looking at it and saying, oh, we have to teach yoga here. So any place you are, you can find occasion to give. And giving is living, and living is giving. And there's no better feeling when you lie in bed at night and you know you've done some giving, some loving, some hugging, some uplifting. I think it's the only way we're going to keep this planet going forward in the way that was intended by Creator.
And I think also, like, allows, because I just heard like so many of your workshop titles in what you just shared, and it takes these beautiful slogans, which, you know, are great memes, are great posts, and it gives you a chance to embody them. That living is giving and giving is living. Like, okay, that sounds great on paper, on a quote, but how do we actually embody these teachings? How do we embody victory? How do we embody that ability to share? And it's by rolling up your sleeves and just trying it out and practicing and experiencing the sensations that come with creating that space for others. I don't know. I talk a lot in my classes just kind of about, you know, people can read all kinds of self-help books. They can watch these videos. They can, you know, listen to audio tapes of how they can improve and enhance their life. But until you actually take it, you know, away from the video, away from the book, away from the podcast, and you put it into motion, into practice, it's just, you know, another idea that flows through your brain that's pretty and flowery, but doesn't create that shift that you're longing for. So, do you have, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say that don't let a day go by that you're not giving. When you wake up in the morning, in your sadhana, in your early morning practice, whatever it is, with a prayer, how can I give back today? How can I leave this earth with more goodness, more love, more light? And there's so much. It can be small, it can be big, but it must be. And I feel that it's still time, if you can get yourself to New Mexico, to summer solstice, or celebrate wherever you are, and let us know. Let us know what your victory was. Let us know what your celebration was. Email to us so we can do a collective visionary of all that we can do, because I think some of it will be quite surprised. You know, you can go into the old people's homes and say, it's summer solstice. I came to sing songs, or to children, or to animals. It doesn't matter what, but you must do something that day, and it will catch. We have somebody used to always say, spirituality cannot be taught. It has to be caught. So if you catch the bug, the last thing I wanted to say, that when I consult people, which I do all over the world, and they are teachers of any sort, I'll say all your answers will be found if you just teach. Whatever it is, if it's Kundalini Yoga, if it's art, if it's a school teacher, whatever it is, teach to the best of your ability. Give, because teaching is giving. And all the answers of your tomorrows, your dilemmas, will be answered through teaching, because teaching is giving.
Yeah. Well, I think that I love the idea of, please write us. I'll put our emails right here below, and email us if you create something, if you could share a story or a photo of maybe how something inspired you to create a celebration for the summer solstice. We will be in New Mexico together and teaching at summer solstice on Friday the 22nd. And so if you're going to make it up the mountain, then join us. Otherwise, we'll be doing a little mini tour this summer together. We're going to be traveling and teaching at Satnam Fest East in Los Angeles, at Radiant Power of Women at Yoga West, and then here in Portland, Oregon in September. So you can catch us and stay tuned in. We'll keep bringing you these episodes throughout summer just to keep it inspired and light and moving forward towards evolution of spirit and body. And we'll dive into our parenting and pregnancy episodes shortly, but we wanted to keep it general for now. So thank you so much for joining us. Anything you want to close on, Mama?
Yeah, I'd like to read one last quote from Yogi Bhajan on victory. And he says, victory is your goal. Victory is your strength. Victory is your guide. Victory is your teacher. Just learn one word, victory. Repeat it as many times as you can and pass it on to others. Just teach others wherever they are. Just say, use that word, victory. Victory to all. Love to all. Light to all.
Victory.
Namawa.